Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nicolette. On my channel, I focus on credit wellness, savings challenges, sinking funds, monthly planning, and becoming debt free. If this is something that interests you and you want to come along with me on my journey to becoming debt free, then stay tuned. So friends, this is a continuation of part one's budget with me. I went back and added some things that I might have missed after the last video. I know it ended kind of weird. I have lost some footage that I could not get back, unfortunately. So, this is what I'm working with today. These quarter boxes are normally in my key off to the side, but I use them so I know how much I spent in a particular category for the week. So, for gas, I spent $40 on, I believe, Wednesday. Unfortunately, for this month, I did go over in my gas category. So next month, I know to put just a little extra in there for gas. I know a lot this month. I have been driving, so I kind of um, expected that. So I also went grocery shopping on Sunday. This was actually the second time this week. The more my kids stay at home, the more I go grocery shopping. I know that they had quite a few snow days and weather advisory days where they were not going to school. So that's where that extra money went in for groceries. So as you can see on my dashboard where I did complete and fill in a lot of what I was missing in the first part, I added up the totals for my January budget and closed out this page with a decorative washi. This is how my paycheck is looking. I put my total and closeout washi at the bottom, and now I'm just adding up the totals. So it should equal $962, but also keep in mind that $102 goes directly into my savings account and $138 goes to my challenges. So in the end, it will come to equal the amount for this week, which is $1,276. Moving on, I'm starting on my transaction log. I know I'm probably going to need more space, but it's all depending on how much I spend this month, I should say. I'm trying not to spend a lot, but especially on my credit cards, but things do come up, unfortunately, where I don't have cash on hand and have to use credit. Um, Now I'm just laying down the script for the top, the header. As you can see, y'all, I've been printing a lot because I am running out of ink. On the larger washi, you can tell the discoloration, but since this is just for me, I don't mind that much. The first washi that I'm laying down is for the creditor, the name of the credit card I'm using, what category I'm going to be pulling that money from, and what I bought. The last two are the amount and the amount that I spent and the date that it was spent. Okay, at this point I've laid down my lines and I'm laying down the total washi at the bottom. Moving on to the next page. This is where I'm going to have my business transaction and business expenses. Not too much is going to go on these pages. That's why I was able to split it in half, because for my business, I don't have a lot of expense, believe it or not. The majority of the things I make on my own. So I'm buying only the materials. I'm focusing only on the materials when it comes to what expenses I use. And for the most part, when I buy in bulk, the material itself is very inexpensive. So this page is for the most part only to track what I'm spending for the year so I'm able to file my taxes and make sure that those items are included on my tax refund. Now for this completed layout, I'm basically using the same washes that I've used in um, the previous page with the expenses and the creditor washi. At this point, I am finishing up with the decorative and the total washi to close out this section. Next up, I am going to lay down my cash envelope setup. Now, for my cash envelopes, I do have them broken down into 4 weeks. Even though I get paid twice a month, I still budget weekly when it comes to my cash envelopes. Here, I'm just looking to see which cash envelopes I am going to put on this list. It's about 5 that I carry in my wallet, and those are the 5 that I'm going to keep track of weekly. I want to keep track of my spending patterns, how much I spend per week, and kind of keep a mindful eye on just making sure that I don't utilize my entire allotment that I have for the week in each category in my wallet, in my sinking fund. I do sometimes find myself borrowing from other envelopes in my wallet, which is a big no no. So, this is going to help me stay accountable so as I don't do that. Now, I'm closing out the first week section with another decorative washi so I can then move on to week number 2. I just moved on to my savings. This section will be my high yield savings for me and my kids. Creating this section allows me to keep track of how my money is doing in its high yield savings account because it adds interest. So I even though I do my cash stuffing in my envelopes, um, that does not account for the money that I make on interest. So here I'm just going to be able to keep track of my money. Um, I guess you can say in real time, because I'm keeping an eye on how much plus the interest that I'm making, how much money I'm actually saving in these accounts. Last but not least will be my page for my sinking funds. Now, this page in particular is only accounting for sinking funds that I've used for this month. In the back of my planner, I'm going to put the total amount of sinking funds that I have um, for the most part. But this section is just to, if I'm subtracting anything from my sinking funds, it will go in the same month that I subtracted those funds from. If that makes any sense. So let's say if I take $20 out of Gemini because I paid something for the girls on my card, I would list it here and keep track of how much I have in total in the back of my planner. This at the end of the month will allow me to see how much I've saved or how much I've taken out in each sinking fund. Now I'm just going to pop down some lines so that'll keep me aligned because if I don't do lines, I'm going to be all over the place. At the end of the month, I'm going to add up or total up the amount of money that I've spent or I've added for the month, and it'll go in the bottom total washi. Now I'm going to flip back to my monthly view, and I'm going to just pop down some no spend days that I had this month. For the most part, no spend days are days you just don't spend any money. Next, I'm just going to start adding some days that came about, such as the no school days that I told you about previously, and how my kids are pretty much out of school whenever there's bad weather, whether it's too cold, whether it's snowing. They do have those days where they have to make up at the end of the school year, of course, but for the most part, they have them off. So I'm just kind of going through my sticker kits looking for different icons I can use. A lot of these stickers, I cannot remember the Etsy shop that I've gotten them from, um, mainly because I've had these stickers for quite some time now. I would say a few years even. And then I came across these lovely half boxes that I believe I got from, oh, I cannot remember her Etsy shop at all. But I think it's Brianna Nicole or Nicole Brianna or something like that. And then this is from Planner Hannah, these scripts. She also, I believe, has a YouTube channel as well. Um, the boxes went perfectly with my layout, so I decided to use those. I'm just putting down a couple of key things that I did in the month, like if I did laundry or almost just about anything I do put on my monthly planner. So I have something to look back on in case I need to duplicate that for another month or just make sure that I've done what I was supposed to do for that month. For the most part, I do write a list of things that I have to do weekly, and my planner helps me keep track of those things just to make sure that they're done. And here I'm just popping down my family fun time script. My kids, my youngest, they are in preschool, and part of their curriculum, and it is mandatory that we go, is to a family fun night. They have this once a month, and we do go as a family, me, the hubby, the kids, and they have different people come. The last time was a ventriloquist. They have like family sing along nights. They have musicians, basically anything, and the kids love it. It's very interactive, and they look forward to it every month. Now I'm going to just write down my transactions for that I've had so far for this month. I'm going to kind of go in and out of this one just to speed it up a bit. Okay, so I finished up with transactions, but I realized that I did put two of the transactions that belong on the business transaction log in my general transaction log. So I went ahead and just basically copied um, that over to my business transaction log so I could keep track of that. It's not a big deal that I did put it in the general transactions because the general transactions do show the monthly total as well, or the monthly total. And I just popped down some lines on the monthly expense page as well. Now back to the cash envelopes. I am basically going to put down what I have left over in my cash envelopes and starting with writing down their categories and subtracting the amount from each category. So, for the most part, what I think I'm going to do is put my layouts down first and then double back and fill them in. I tried to do them like one at a time. It was a bit tedious because I have to like kind of stop what I'm doing to either put down my base or stop what I'm doing to write something down. I'd rather just have everything already done for the month and then go back and as I go, I fill in the blanks. So that's why you see me like jumping back and forth because I realized it was so much easier and fluent if I just lay down my bases first and then go back and fill them in after. So here I am filling in my cash envelopes. I realized that I did make a mistake on myself. I put 40 instead of 20, but I'm going to correct that now. I was thinking for the next 2 weeks instead of weekly. So I'm technically supposed to only be giving myself $20. And of that $20, I spent 15, which left me with $5. Moving on to lunch. Lunch, I gave myself $20. I spent 3. So that leaves me with a total of $17 left for the week. For groceries, I'm looking back to see how much was spent. I gave myself 80. I don't believe I spent anything for groceries, or I might have. I have to look back because I took it out for some reason, but I put down. I think I fixed that though. It's not supposed to be 80. It's supposed to actually be 0. Um, For myself, I was left with $10. I didn't spend anything for personal. And for gas, I did um, indeed spend the whole 40. So I have nothing left. So what I'm basically doing is adding up what I budgeted for, how much was spent, and how much that I have remaining for the week. So in total, I had $170 in my cash envelopes. Of that 170, $138 was spent, and what remaining is $32 for the rest of the week. I want to briefly touch on the new savings challenge that I've came up with. It's called Scene. It will be going in the back of my planner. It's just basically a big sticker that's going to fit on my planner page in the back. And what the purpose is to create a scene. So this particular scene is people at the mall. Each person is worth a certain amount, and each person has a place to stand in the mall. I'll be playing this particular savings challenge throughout the year, off and on. So I'm gonna lay it. Oops, it's not gonna lay that way. I believe it's gonna lay better the long way. So I think that's what I did because this is a pretty big sticker. I realized that it was not gonna fit the short way. So I had to hurry up and pull that back up. And then I was able to I'm sorry. Then I was able to lower it and lay it down the long way. And then I'm going to show you how I am playing this game throughout the year. Um, so this is another fun way that you can save money, and it'll be in the back of my planner, along with some other things that I'm going to put back here that I want to keep track of throughout the year. Okay, friends, that completes this video. And as always, if you like what you see, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.